Yo, what's up, guys? This is another episode of Gameplay Review. We got a killer game coming today. It is a Billy game, which is exciting because I love Billy. He's probably my favorite killer. Also, I need more footage for these. So if you guys are enjoying this series, or if you guys want your own footage to be reviewed, now would be the perfect time to submit because I have pretty much gone through all my footage. So if you were to submit, I would probably get to it pretty quickly. Look at the description below to figure out how to submit, and let's hop right in. Let's do it. All right, guys, let's do this. This is a killer game that is at rank 3. Although the survivors he's playing against, I mean, you guys probably know DBD matchmaking currently is not the smoothest. He is a rank 3 hillbilly, and the survivors he's playing against they vary. There's one like rank 3. There was a couple purple ranks. They were like a rank 6 and a 7, and then there was one like rank 11 in here. So it's a little all over the place, but I mean, that's kind of how DBD is these days, like if we're just going to be realistic. Okay, so we are playing Hillbilly on Batum Preschool, which is a rough map. Preschool was a rough map, but let's see how it goes. Your add-ons are the turn add-ons. You have Moonshine and Boots, so your turning while you're chainsawing is going to be... Yeah, you're going to be able to do shit like that. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I think people call this Drift King. So, yeah, your build is pretty solid. Whispers, Barbecue and Chili, Sloppy Butcher, Hex Ruin. I don't know about the use of Sloppy Butcher, but you know what? I'm not going to argue it either. You immediately find someone and they break a totem. And there's a pile there. See, no Enduring is going to suck. But, I mean, hey, man, you're making it work. What you should have did there, I'm just going to go ahead and start out already. I already have something to say. But before I get into, like, actually talking about stuff, I'm going to talk about your build. You're running Whispers and Barbecue and Chili, which are 2 tracking perks, and then you're running Ruin and Sloppy Butcher, which are both... Ruin's like obviously a slow down the game a little bit perk. I guess we're making like a million Monto references this video. Drift King plus slow the game down a little bit. I swear I'm not Monto, okay? And Sloppy Butcher is kind of like a hybrid. It slows down the game a little bit because they have to heal longer, but it also helps you track. I personally, I'm not crazy about the perk selection, but I don't think they're terrible either. The thing about Billy is he can snowball pressure really quickly. So if you run tracking and chasing perks, you can get massive amounts of pressure really fast by catching survivors really fast. But this also works. Like, a lot of people will give you shit for running Ruin on Billy because a lot of people will say, Billy doesn't need Ruin, blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, run whenever you want, right? I mean, if you're not going to be slugging and snowballing pressure, then Ruin is not a bad choice, right? Anyway, I just want to say that real quick, but right off the bat right here, okay, we're in the corner of the map, okay? Like, this all right here, like, this is the edge of the map. Like, there's no, you can't, it's a wall. There's nothing out there. Like, we're at the edge of the map, right? So in a situation like this, when this pallet gets thrown, okay, first off, she doesn't leave. Like you come around here and she stays at the pallet, right? Like, I'm not sure if you were coming around here to see if she would, like, vault. I think you were trying to bait her into vaulting. But she isn't leaving, right? She's staying. You can see her right here. She's, like, staying. She came over here, so she's going to stay here and loop. That's what a lot of good survivors do. Like if a pallet is safe, like this pallet, for instance, is pretty safe, they won't leave. They'll stay at this pallet, and they'll just loop it in, like, reverse direction of whichever direction you go. They'll stay until you break the pallet, and then they'll go to the next one, right? What you can do about this is you can zone them. So what you do is you just break the pallet with your chainsaw this way, and you're on this side of the pallet, she's on this side of the pallet, so she gets a free run to, like, where the rest of the pallets are, right? Keep in mind, this corner right there is a wall. There's just nothing there. It's literally just it's a corner of the map. It's a dead area, okay? Here is, like, the entire rest of the map. That's, like, the rest of the map, and this is death, okay? So keep that in mind. Now, what you can do is you could, because she's looping, right? So she's going to be mirroring everything you do. So if you go around to this side of the pallet, she's also going to go around. She's going to be literally, like, trying to stay away from you because that's what looping is. So you can force her onto this side. What you should be doing is you should be forcing her to be right here, and then you right here and then break the pallet. So that way, while the pallet's being broken, she has less time to get to safety, right? Like she has to either go around that way and try to get to the house, or she has to go around that way. She has to basically go like a longer route to try to get to wherever you are, and you already have a nice head start, right? Whereas opposed to like the flip-flop, like what you're doing right now, you're here, she's here. While you're breaking the pallet, she's already fucking gone, and then you're, you know, that's like the basic idea of what zoning is. So you could have zoned this Claudette out and kept her in the corner, and you would have at least gotten a hit, at least an M1. I don't know if you could have gotten a chainsaw or not, but you could have at least gotten an M1 from that. Instead, you chase her away, you run into a wall, which you got to avoid doing if you're going to be running Moonshine, because that stun lasts like 10 years. It's so bad. Okay, this house fucking sucks. We'll see how smart she is. She's pretty okay. She was camping the pallet and waiting to see a red light, and then when she saw it, she ran away. This house is really hard to play. I wouldn't blame you if you just left, and it looks like you are. Maybe? Or no, she left. Okay, she left. That house is really hard to play. Like, if the survivor's good anyway, because it's... They have so much vision, and there's so many safe pallets that they can use, and there's so many dumb windows. So you just leave, which is probably the right play. There's someone right there. It's the same Claudette. Hey, well now you're on a better part of the map, so this is good. Ooh, she tried to punish you for looping, or not for looping. She tried to punish you for respecting the pallet, and you didn't. So you got an M1. That's really good. That was smart of you to go for an M1. It would be nice to get a chainsaw there, but that's really greedy. You can only really do it if she messes up. She runs into the preschool, which again, this is another. What? Okay, she just left. That's really lucky, because the preschool is pretty hard. So if she would have stayed in there, you probably would have got fucked. Good job baiting the dead hard. Good shit. Keep that in mind, anybody who might be watching this. If you're a killer player and you're chasing a survivor and they haven't used an exhaustion perk yet, if they haven't used sprint burst, if you haven't seen them use anything, right? If you haven't seen them use sprint burst or balance landing or anything, if you know that they're not currently exhausted, it's pretty safe to assume they have dead hard. Like literally everybody runs fucking dead hard these days. It's insane. Like it's nuts. So it's pretty safe to do that. Don't swing right away as soon as you get in range, because that's when most people will dead hard. So you wait a second, she dead hards, then you hit her. So that's good shit. You get her down. We're gonna bring her over here to the hook. Perfect. Looking around for auras, not seeing anything. Someone just finished a gen in the basement. So, hey, there you go. All right. You found her. I kind of thought she might have went the other way, but good shit. There's no... Oh, you could have chainsawed there. Okay, I know why you M1 there. I know why, because the way that this map works, Badham, there's four pallets that can spawn in Badham Preschool, right? I see this one right here. That's one of them. There's one in this room, and then there's two downstairs. There's one like right there, and there's one like back there downstairs, right? The way it works is 2 of these 4 pallets will spawn every time, but it's random. Like it could be this one and this one, it could be this one and this one, it could be this one and that one. Like two of the 4 will spawn every time. So I think that you assume the pallet would be here because it can spawn there. So you just like swung at it to try to get the hit before she can drop it. But that was actually pretty bad, because if you didn't M1 here, you could have got a chainsaw really easily. Like there's no pallet here. So if you just would have kept running and you wouldn't have M1'd, you could have had an easy chainsaw, which is a big deal. Keep in mind, getting an M1 versus getting a chainsaw is a big deal, because when you M1 them, they get this big old speed boost. I mean, she's kind of running into a wall right here. But they get this big old speed boost where they can fucking take off, and you got to do this, like, dumb thing where you throw your hammer up and catch it because you need to do that every time you smack someone for some reason. And then, you know, bam, she's at the pallet now, you know? So, like, getting a chainsaw would just down her instantly, and then the whole thing ends. Ooh, that was a good mind game, but you got robbed. I mean, I would suggest if you're going to do a mind game like this, to not rush your swings. Like, again, keep in mind that, like, while I'm reviewing these videos, I'm going to point out every single little mistake you make. And no killer player ever plays a match perfectly and makes no mistakes. Like, that rarely ever happens. So, you're playing this great. Keep in mind, like, you're doing a fantastic job. But I'm going to pick apart every little thing that goes wrong, because I think that's the point of this series. So, like, this is a really good mind game, right? Like, you fake like you're, you know... You like fake like you're gonna switch direction, and then you come back, And honestly, that maybe should have hit. Like, this table has like a tall hitbox, so like it's kind of weird, and you kind of just smack the table and don't hit her. But it was very close to swinging. But if you didn't just swing and you just ran that direction instead, like there's a decent bit of distance, right? Like she has to go pretty far to get to the pallet. So if you would have just ran that direction and been patient with your swing, you would have got it down there, you know? Regardless, it was a really good mind game, and you probably should have had her. It was pretty fucking close. You try to do the same thing. See, if you would have did what you did right there the first time, well, hey, it worked anyway. Good shit. But yeah, that's definitely how you want to do it. And then you ended up working, so good job. That was a really good mind game. I guess I should probably say for anybody that's like trying to learn killer and learn mind games, that's the kind of stuff you can do. Like faking like you're running. Like you didn't really sell that one so much, but I think she just kind of dropped the pallet late. But the whole like selling one direction, showing your red light, and then moonwalking in and hiding your red light, that shit does wonders. So that was a really, really good mind game. You're gonna pick her up and take her to the hook. There's only 2 gens left already. Your ruin's still up, which is impressive. But they did 3 gens through it, and that's only your 2nd hook, so that's no bueno. But I mean, this map is fucking tough. And it's not exactly the best map for the add-ons that you're running to. Like, what the hell is that Claudette doing? Okay, I mean, you just got a free, you got a free down, I guess. I don't know what the, oh, that's probably what. She was looking to DS you. Maybe she wanted to do that to DS you. Okay, well, you're at Shack now. You try to get a hit through the window. Ooh, that was a good window vault. Nice. All right, let me, hold on. I'm gonna take a look at what just happened right here. So you kind of did the fake loop thing. You missed the hit, and then you kind of like look. You looked. She fell for this so hard. That's kind of crazy that this worked as well as it did. What you did is you looked towards the door. You looked away from the window and towards the door to kind of make it seem like you were going to go out and around, right? And she bought it so hard. Like she bought this. This was more of a misplay on her part, but I mean, hey, a killer is all about, you know, baiting survivors and making misplays. So it really was a good play on your part. This isn't going to work on a lot of really good survivors, so I wouldn't make it a habit of doing this. But it's still really, I mean, it worked fucking amazingly here. You like baited her into looping, right? Like you made her think that you were coming around the outside, and then she looped because she thinks you're coming around the outside, so she's trying to loop over there. Well, I can't really draw the whole thing, but she's trying to loop over there and come back. So you vault right as she's passing the window. So like by the time she sees that you're vaulting, you're already like right on top of her vaulting. You know what I mean? So it's too late. She can't do anything. She's like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, and then she tries to get to the pallet, and you're like, nah, bitch, and then you down her. So that was really good. Good shit. Picking her up under pallet. I mean, if you're gonna pick someone up under pallet, it might not be a bad idea to just do it instantly before anyone gets a chance to get there. So you're gonna throw her in the basement. That's her 2nd hook, so she's gonna be down on hook after this. You saw an aura. You're gonna go way around the outside here? Wait, are you not gonna go for that aura? Huh. Wait, am I crazy? Did you see an aura that I didn't see? This video, like, takes a while to load. Okay, yeah, I guess I just didn't even see that. Okay, so there's a guy running here and there's a guy on that gen. I didn't even see that guy on the gen. Sorry, that was completely my fault. It's a little bit pixely for me. So you're just letting that guy in the field go. He's probably going to get the unhook, which is fine. And you're going to go after this dude on the gen instead, which is also good because you're getting people off of generators, which is good. This is like the pinnacle of map pressure, right? Like there's a guy in the basement. There's a guy going to unhook the guy in the basement, and now you're chasing this guy off the gen. So that's 3 people that aren't working on gens right now. That's really good map pressure. As long as you get down this guy quickly, then it's really good. I feel like you're trying to use your chainsaw too much now, like without even being in a good spot for it. Like these add-ons are really good for like turning around in like open fields and like, you know, navigating maps and shit. But you can't really like, if you're like in a field like this with a bunch of junk, like there's a bunch of trees and blocks and junks and shit, you're not really going to be able to just get like a chainsaw in this field if you're not close to it, right? Like the amount of distance that she has on you right now, and with all this shit here, you're never going to be able to land a chainsaw like this. Unless she's literally brain dead. Like you're not going to be able to land a chainsaw here. So I get that you're trying, like you're fucking around, you're having fun with your add-ons, but It's just not gonna work. Like, you could have maybe gotten a curve there, maybe, but you started it too early. Like, if you took, like, another couple steps, like, if you stepped to maybe, like, right here and then curved around this tree. Because if you guys don't know, by the way, with Hillbilly, whenever you first start chainsawing, like, for the first, like, half a second or a second of chainsawing, your movement is, like, crazy. Like, you can turn, like, almost, like, you can turn more than 90 degrees. You can turn a crazy amount. You can turn, like, probably, like, 110, 120 degrees. So with that means that you can curve around objects. I don't know if you guys haven't seen a curve Billy. It's pretty impressive shit. It's pretty cool. So you could have curved around this maybe, but you kind of like you kind of popped the chainsaw too early, and then you also didn't like curve the whole way. You kind of like, it seems like you weren't. I don't know if you have your chainsaw bound to mouse or Q and E, but you didn't like turn the whole way. So okay, I take it all back. I don't know what the hell this Meg's doing. I'm gonna chalk that one up to the Meg being terrible. This should not have worked. There's no reason that this should have worked. I know I just got done saying literally fucking around with a chainsaw in an open field is never gonna get you a sorry, not in an open field. Fucking around in a chainsaw while there's all this stuff in this like field here isn't gonna get you a chainsaw hit, and it shouldn't have. This should not have worked. I don't know what the hell this Meg's doing, dude. Like, you literally just chainsawed a tree and she just walks into it. Like, I guess good job, but like, I don't want to tell you good job too much, because this is a really, I don't want this to be like a habit that you form, because this is not going to work. Against any survivor who's like remotely good, this is just going to be a waste of time. Like, they're not going to walk into chainsaws. This Meg is just, I don't know. I don't know, dude. She's a Meg. She's a Meg. I don't know what else to say. She's a Meg. So, you down the Meg. You chuck her up on the hook. You kick the gen. Not a bad idea. There's not really anyone that close. Oh. Oh, man. Oh, fuck. That hurt to watch, dude. That hurt to watch. I don't know what this Jane's doing. If anybody in here plays Survivor or even Killer, if you guys even play at a high level, you guys probably know the importance of God Palette. This palette at Shack is one of the strongest palettes in the game. This palette right here is one of the strongest palettes in the game, and it spawns on most maps. The only maps that it doesn't spawn in is what, like Larry's and the game, I think, are the only two maps that Shack doesn't spawn in. And Haddonfield, also Haddonfield. I think that's it though. And it's one of the strongest pilots in the game, and she just wastes it. I mean, like, this is a win for you. Keep in mind, as a killer, this is a win for you. So she could have just like literally, she could have just like stood here, stood there, bolted the window. She could have like stood by the window. She could have did like one of a million things, and she just wastes this palette. This actually hurts. This is kind of unrelated to your gameplay, but this fucking hurts me to watch. Like, she didn't even wait to get the stun on you either. She just threw it so that you can break it. Oh my god. Oh my god. That hurt. That literally hurts. I'm in pain. Alright, you're going for chainsaws again in this field. This is like again, like, I know you're running like Drift King add-ons or whatever, but like, you can't really just get chainsaws when you're like this far away. You still need to like be near people. You know, you need to either be close to them, or the only way that you're gonna get a chainsaw from like this far away, like this amount of distance that she has on you right now, like the only way that you're gonna get a chainsaw that's this far away is if it's a completely open field. Like, if these trees and shit were gone, like say you're on a cornfield map. Like, if you're on a cornfield map and you were in the corn and she had this much distance on you, then you can probably get it down with your chainsaw with, you know, with your add-ons. But considering there's like trees and shit that she can hide behind, like, you're never going to be able to get a chainsaw again, unless they're like the Meg and they play just completely terribly. But you can't really like rely on that, right? Like, she did just waste God Palette, so maybe maybe she's terrible. I don't know, but I wouldn't bank on that, because the difference right now is that if you go for this chainsaw and you miss it, like you do, then you have to go through the cooldown of like putting down your chainsaw, then you're like moving slow, then she gets more distance. Like, you end up not even making any distance on her, you know what I mean? Whereas if you would have just held W and chased her, Like by the time she got to where she is now, you'd probably be like 3 steps closer. You know what I mean? Which obviously 3 steps might not seem like a much in the grand scheme of things, but that may be the difference between her getting to getting to a pallet or a window and you getting a hit, you know? So if you would have just chased her down and kept going after her, okay, again, she ran into a wall, so it didn't matter anyway. But I'm still sticking to that was the right play. Like you should just be getting distance on her and getting yourself in a position. Like that's the kind of chainsaw that you want, right? Like you want the she's close to you and then there's really no way for you to like miss type chainsaw. This is okay, sorry. This is loading all weird. Like these are the chainsaws that you want to go for. She got stuck, so she's like right in front of you. So like that's the kind of chainsaws you want to go for. Like you don't want to go for ones far away because that's just going to be a waste of time. Anyway, you throw her up on the hook. You see a dude down there on the gen. He's not even on the gen. Is he healing? I think he's healing. Looked like he was healing a dude. Oh, there's 2 people right here, and the Meg walked into your chainsaw again. I mean, that was partly your add-ons too, though, because you had really good turning. That was really good. She didn't have to throw the pallet there. She wasn't going to get hit. Okay, that was really good, too. She didn't have to throw the pallet there. She wasn't going to get hit, but she did, and she wasted another good pallet. These survivors are just wasting pallets like crazy. Like, you were not going to be able to... Like, you were literally about to stop chainsawing, and then she threw the pallet. Like, if you watch it really slow. Like, you were about to stop chainsawing, and you weren't even going to hit her. And then she, like, throws the pallet, and then you break it. So, that was a really dumb play by her. But you took advantage of it really nice. That first Meg hit, I don't really need to watch again. She kind of just ran into your chainsaw. You kind of just turned into her. I guess she might have like not realized that you had turn add-ons, but either way, she could have dodged. She just didn't. This chainsaw right here is really good. You like curve like out of the fence, and she doesn't juke at all. She kind of just runs in a straight line, but you control your curve really nicely. So this was really well done. Like you control it real nice. You come right out. She doesn't juke, thank God, and then you just get a free chainsaw, which is really good. So that was really good shit. And now you have 2 people down. They just unhooked. So this is a ton of map pressure. If you really, really, really want to sweat and like really want to get a 4K, what you could have done right now is like the second that you downed this person. Here, hold on. I want to go back to like you downed her. Right now, currently, this bar is in the way. Will you go away? I don't think it'll go away. Right now, you have 2 guys downed and then 1 guy on a hook. There's 1 person up. This person that's up is going to be going for the hooked guy. Like, he's probably already on his way to the hooked guy. Well, we know that because we already watched ahead and he unhooks. But you can just assume by general game sense that if you're a survivor, so someone's on a hook and, you know, a teammate gets down across the map, you're probably going to start working your way towards that unhook, right? So if you really wanted to like sweat and try for this 4K right now, you can leave both of these guys on the ground and go back to where the first guy was hooked. And then that you know that both the last 2 survivors will be there. So you can possibly end this game right now if you really wanted to. You can go back to that hook. You know, you're a Billy, so you can either one-shot the full health guy or just M1 the injured guy and then chase the last guy, and you can end this game right now with a 4-man slug. Keep in mind, you don't have to. Just saying it's an option. If all you care about is 4King, slugging, especially with Billy, especially in a situation like that where you know everyone is a really good option. That was just a panic right there, so like I'm not going to say anything about that. I think you were getting ready to chainsaw across the map, and then this Claudette came out of fucking nowhere and scared you, and then you just chainsawed into the wall. This is, yeah. I was going to say again, like, I don't know why you're pulling out your chainsaw right there, but you end up, like, switching off and chasing this person, and then they ran inside. You're going to go to the hole, which is a good play. What I would like to see is for you to show your red light down the stairs. Okay, it worked out, never mind. That's a really good thing to do on Bad & Preschool, by the way. You didn't show your red light at all, but keep in mind, if someone's running down this staircase to the left here, if someone runs down here, they're probably just going to keep running through the preschool. Like, they're going to assume that you're going to follow them down the stairs, right? What I like to do is I like to take, like, 1 step onto the staircase, show my red light, so that it convinces them even more. Because, like, when I play Survivor, what I do is I go down the stairs, and then I'll stand, like, right under the stairs and watch for the red light. And then if I see a red light, then I run through. That's, like, how I try to avoid what you just did right now. So to counterplay that, what I try to do is I try to show my red light at least for like a second and then go to the hole. Whereas you kind of just go straight to the hole. It still works out because a lot of survivors won't do that. They'll just keep running. You know, they'll just hold W through like this person did. She just runs. So you get it down on her, gonna pick her up. That first guy still didn't get unhooked. I'm assuming he's gonna get unhooked like right now. No gens have gotten done in the past like fucking 5 minutes, by the way, which is really good. You've been doing a really good job of creating map pressure with those 2 downs you got earlier. This Collette's taking hits for no reason. You're still gonna make this hook. I don't know what she's doing. Maybe she's getting stacks and working on it forever. I don't know. I really have no idea. So you get that guy hooked. Everyone else is injured. You're on the trail of somebody. Looks like they went toward it. Dude, this is very pixely. It's hard to see what I'm looking at right now. I'm gonna be honest. You're chasing a guy over here. You really got to stop running into walls, honestly. If you're going to run Moonshine, if you guys don't know, Moonshine, what it does is it like tremendously increases your turning while chainsawing, but it also gives you like a way bigger stun whenever you run into walls. So if you're going to run Moonshine, you need to make like a conscious effort to not run into walls, because that stun is brutal. It's like a 2-second stun or something where you just can't move, which is a lot of time for survivors to make up distance. So you generally don't want to do it. I can't believe these mind games are working. I'm going to be honest. Like, I'm not trying to be, I don't know. I just feel like these survivors shouldn't be falling for this. I like that you're going for mind games, though. I like it. I love people that go for mind. If you're just mindlessly holding W at everybody and then, like, complaining that, like, you can't do anything, then, like, what the hell are you doing? So I love that you're at least trying and it's working. Like, you fake like you're going the other way, and then you come back, and this Claudette just falls for it so hard. Like, she just runs right at you. I don't know. I don't want to be judgmental. I don't think that's a very hard mind game to see coming. But I mean, hey, she fell for it, so good shit. I mean, it's really good though. Like, that's a really good thing to do as survivor, is like, or as killer, is kind of test your survivors. Like, see how good they are at mind games. See like what they fall for, what they don't fall for. Like these survivors, like almost, I think every single survivor you're playing against right now has fallen for like every mind game that you've done. So these guys are very prone. So I mean, that's probably why you did that. So that's a really good job. Keep in mind though that like if you play a match against survivors and then they're not actively falling for mind games, like if they're like calling you out on your shit and like you try to do fancy shit and they don't fall for it, like remember that survivor. If it's like a Meg that's not falling for your shit, remember that. And then anytime you chase that Meg for the rest of the match, just keep in mind like, you know, that she, like, what she falls for, what she doesn't fall for. That's a huge part of killer. I think that's the single most important part of killer. Please don't walk into the chainsaw again. Oh my god, she didn't even try to juke. You almost landed that. You could have had that. This Meg, like, this Meg walks into chainsaws like crazy. So you revving your chainsaw right now isn't even crazy right now, honestly. Like, normally I'd be like, stop revving your chainsaw whenever there's a bunch of stuff for her to hide behind. But this Meg, like, notoriously, yep, there it is. She just keeps walking into chainsaws. So that wasn't even a bad move. Like, again, that's exactly what I'm saying with, like, knowing who you're chasing. Basing your strategy around who it is that you're chasing is, like, the most important thing as killer by far. Like, that Meg has walked into, like, 2 chainsaws already from, like, you know, a decent distance away. So you know she's not, like, she's not going to be doing a very good job of juking them. But, for instance, like, this Jane, like, going for that chainsaw, unless that was just you randomly fucking around, wasn't really worth. Okay, I'm getting a headache. What the hell are you doing? What the hell are you doing? I'm getting a headache. Why are we doing this? Are we trying to, like, double step this guy right now? Alright, that didn't work. I'm not sure what you were trying to do, but it didn't quite work. You're going to chainsaw the pallet. You're going to let her run into the house. She's going to take the window, maybe. I don't know why no one ever stays upstairs. There's a really strong pallet upstairs. All right, and then she doesn't even go inside to dodge the chainsaw. All right, I mean, well played by you. She could have ran inside. There was a door to the left right here that she could have ran inside. Like, right here, it's like, I don't really understand. Like, there's a wall here, and then there's a door right here. And, like, instead of going into the door to dodge your chainsaw, she just stays in this tight hallway where literally you can't miss even if you tried. So I'm not really sure what she did here. If she would have went inside, then this chainsaw probably wouldn't have worked. So, like, this is such a weird review because I think you're playing this wrong. Like, a lot of these chainsaws you're going for are wrong. And against good survivors, they're just going to be a huge waste of time. So, like, I don't think that you should be in the habit of, like, I don't like seeing this because I feel like because it worked so well this match, you're going to get into, like, the habit of doing this where you're going to, like, pull out your chainsaw even if she has, like, a pretty good distance on you and stuff. And then once you do play against survivors that are good and then they won't do bad, like, won't make terrible decisions like this, you're just going to waste so much time going for these chainsaws that you have no chance of landing. Like, these guys just eat them. You know what? You might have actually got her before she went inside there. I'm going to be honest. Upon looking at it again, even if she went inside, you might have been able to hit her, like, as she was going through the door. So, maybe I'll take this one back. But in general, I'm still sticking with it for, like, for most of this video. There's been a lot of situations where I think you made the bad decision to, like, go for a chainsaw, but, like, the survivors just kind of run into it. But you got her down. She's dead, so good shit. The Meg is dead on hook, and I think the other guy has been hooked once. I could be wrong about that. I know the Meg is dead on hook. And there she is. She's at shack with no pallet. And what the hell is this Meg doing, dude? She ran up to the window and slow-balled her. That has to be the guy that's, like, rank 11, right? It has to be. Okay, so you're convinced that her teammate's here, too, so you're checking lockers. But it doesn't look like she's here. So you're going to carry her to the basement. She's going to die. She's going to be dead. Is this last guy going to get Hatch? Or what's going to happen here? I know Hatch was in that building. I don't know if you saw it. While you were picking up that one dude, Hatch was in the building. You're checking lockers. I'm not really sure why you're convinced someone was here. Was there like an aura that I didn't see on barbecue or something? I don't know. Whispers is off, so they're not here. Yeah, they're at Hatch. Okay, well. There you go. And I guess that's the game. That's a 3K with Billy. I'm so torn with this. Like, I'm so torn with this gameplay because obviously you did well. You killed 3 out of 4. The only person that escaped, they escaped through Hatch, so like they barely escaped. So like I'm really torn because you did a good job. Like all things considered, with the way that these survivors played, you played in a way that took advantage of it really well, and you did extremely well. This was a very good game. But like at the same time, I also just like I feel like this is not a good habit to get into, right? I think the only reason why this game went so well is because the survivors were, quite frankly, bad. Like I don't want to sound mean or rude. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with being bad at video games, but you know, they were just not very good. The survivors, like, if we go to like the very end game screen, hold on a second. Like there was only one rank 3. I don't know. Was that the Meg? That had to have been the Meg, right? Because what that Meg was like, it looked like it was like her 5th game ever. So like, yeah, I don't know. I don't want you to like get into the habit of playing the way you played this, because I do think that like if these survivors were actually good, if you try to do like pretty much all the stuff that you did this match against good survivors, they probably wouldn't fall for it, and then you would probably just be wasting time chainsawing around. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if this video was constructive at all, to be honest with you, because that I don't really know what to make with the conclusion of this. This worked really well. You shit on these survivors, but I would like to see you submit another game, where maybe like the survivors don't walk into chainsaws, because I feel like this is misleading. You know what I mean? I don't want people thinking that this is like the correct way to play. Like at low ranks and against bad survivors, like this shit all works really well. But against anybody that's good, you're gonna want to make sure that you're like right up against them. Like you want to back rev people. You want to make sure that you're close to them whenever you go to chainsaw. I think that's all I have to say about this, though. I mean, again, I don't want to make it feel like I don't want to make it seem like I'm shitting on you or anything. You played this extremely well, especially considering how the survivors you were playing against played. You countered them perfectly. Like this was a really well done game. But try to work on the things that I told you to work on for future matches, because it's going to pay off a lot in the long run. Once you start playing against like really good survivors, you're going to start needing to do things a little bit differently. Anyway, that's it. That's it for the review. We out. Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said in the beginning, I do need more footage, so if you guys are interested in submitting, feel free to join my Discord. It's linked below. Record your footage, upload it as a YouTube video, preferably unlisted, but if you want to have it listed, that's fine. send it to me in a DM so I can review it, and that would be awesome. Thank you guys all for watching. Hope you guys are enjoying the series, and I am out of here. Catch you next time. I'll fliga later. I'll fliga. I'll fliga later. Fliga.